Hola, buenos dias. Hello, good morning. This is Andrew Weston in the Matrix Systems right now, going through so many different cycles and all electronic defenses. We're going through the connection energy waving systems. We're going through connection wire systems. We're going through all electronic and defense systems. So I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you to all the subscribers and viewers and everybody that's coming on my channel. It's great to know that we're having this love and resonance and the unconditional love of everything that's going on. Hey, how you doing, Andrew? How's it going? Amanda? Morning, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody slept well. Had my coffee. I'm ready to rock and roll. Okay, so basically I did a set divisional lines, okay, of awarenesses of what's going on through its ground formations, everything through its connection of its graphing medical centers, and everything through its connection of its graphing circle centers, and everything through its connection of its graphing analytical mind brain system energy systematical systems. So yesterday I was showing you how to go through the gravity centers, everything through its awareness and focus. So the easiest thing I can give you is another illustration, okay? Point by view of understanding of what's going on with its system. Okay, so basically this is what it is. All right, so you have the diamond set, 12 divisional lines, okay, where we have the awareness and everything throughout its surroundings and everything through its cycles. So it splits by in 4 different sections of its diamond core. This is you in the center, okay? Everything through you is balanced, and understanding through its dimensional sets is its point center, okay? So focus and awareness comes from its activation of its centers, okay? You are the center of everything around you. Understanding that, then you understand its simulation of its worlds and how we all connect through its consciousness, okay? So I'm bringing this one step level, but I'm also giving you a back review of what's going on, okay, from my last video. But it's very important to understand this. So try to analyze it, try to figure it out, of what's going on, okay? So it's very important to understand it triangular angular base. Everything is point center, everything line divides, okay? Everything through the center is you through its gravity centers, okay? And everything around you comes its focus of awareness. And that's how you develop its consciousness of levels of intelligence, okay? But everything is balanced, okay? It's extremely important that you understand your divisional sets of point centers, okay? Once you understand that, then you understand your perceptions of everything that's connected through the circuitry systems of its intelligence, okay? So it's going way beyond anything of its gravity centers, which is you, okay? So anyway, I just want to bring that to everybody's attention. Hope everybody's doing well. Today, there's a little bit of confusion. I'm getting a lot of questions about, certain things. Okay, why should we meditate? Can we just forget about meditation and then just focus on ourselves? Can we just do our own thoughts of thinkings and stuff like that? Well, see, the thing is, I'll do another illustration, but I just want to make a point view of what's going on through the subconscious mind. Okay, the subconscious mind is everything through its consciousness, understanding everything through of what's happening right now. It's understanding to get your balance on a day-to-day basis. And meditation is not just meditation, it's way beyond its systems, okay? So meditation comes on many forms, and I'll draw out a diagram and show you exactly what it is, okay? So, like I said, everything in the center is you, okay? This is you, all right? Always cross, it's always across, always point center, okay? It's very important. It's understanding north, west, east, and south. Now, also, too, I was going to do a video. We'll go a little bit further with the traveling mechanism, but it's very important to understand that meditation is just not meditation, okay? It's going way beyond, and that's how we're going to its system, how you come into the circulation of its system through the simulation of its systems. So it's very important to understand what's going on with your mind, brain, wave, and frequency systems, okay? Because meditation formulates on so many different levels, okay? So understanding meditation is not just meditation. Okay, it's going way beyond it. This is how we come into the meditation, understanding center of everything, okay? And that's how we bring ourselves forward, and that's how we go on a higher level of its consciousness. So from there, you have gravity, okay? And then you have center, okay? And you're going to hear center a lot because that's what it is. That's how everything formulates, okay? Now, once you become the center of everything, through its ground formations, atmospheres, galactic system, the energy core, the matrix systems, you are connecting a higher level of its meditation. So that's how you come into the simulation of its matrix world. Okay, so from there, you go through its cycles. Okay. All right, so this is basically what it is. It's a lot more complicated than you think because it formulates on so many different levels. Okay, understanding its continuous force and everything around it, and how it resides on so many levels of its continuum. Okay, so it kind of looks like a star, but once you understand it, you understand everything through its meditation, everything through its cycles, how everything has its gravity centers, okay, and how everything is centered around you through its activation of its centers. Okay, so everything around this is you. Okay, so everything line divides. See how everything's triangular base? Okay, now those become point centers. Okay, this is where the conscious level comes in. Okay, the conscious level. Once you understand the conscious level, then you understand how important is meditation. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to point center everything through its line formations, through triangular base, so you get a better point view. Okay. All right. These are dimensional sets of point centers through the triangular base. Okay, everything line divides. Okay. All right. And remember, you can do anything through its activation through its center. How you can open up plasmasium force system, but everything has to be circulated through its center. So basically, that's how it starts. Okay, through meditation, because meditation is everything through you, and that's how you build confidence, and that's how you build awareness, and that's how you get your strengths and your powers. Because everything through its chakra formation. Okay, there's a reason why everybody has a chakra formation in their system. Is it so they can develop consciousness, so they can bring it to a higher level of intelligence and knowledge, and true acceptance of what's happening to them. Okay. You have to know these things, and that's exactly what it is. Okay. This is forms of meditation of you through your life cycle, through its activation center. Okay. And how important it is, because like I said, one question was given to me is that, well, what if this is a disruption and I just want to go back the way I want to? I said, you can do that, but eventually it's going to happen regardless, because we're here to bring back the vibration. We're here to up-level your consciousness through its intelligence of its knowledge. So it's going to happen to everybody regardless. It's meant to happen. It's in the book of Revelations, the third waves, the solar connected energy power, or has its own systems through its energy systems. So you have to understand how important it is that everything is connected through its meditation of its mind acceptance and its brain set acceptance through its frequency levels. So, for example, okay, so basically, if you center yourself and you stand in the center, okay, it's very important to understand what center is. When you walk outside and you see your provisions of your perceptions, now anything you look at, you try to find the center, like a stop sign, try to find the center. A car, try to find a center. A person, try to find the center. Ground formation, try to find the center within its streets, because the streets have two different parallels, right? Like, for example, very simple. Okay, streets. Okay, two parallels. That's a street. Okay. So once you understand that, okay, you understand these are alignments. Okay, we talked about this before. Anything through alignment, okay, is a simulation of a road graphing system. So it's understanding everything through its point of view and how it becomes not just a 3D, but you actually go into the simulation, okay, far beyond its systems. Okay, so everything through its parallel is its center. Okay, so it's finding its center of everything, and that's how it activates around everything. And that's where the conscious comes in. That's how the simulation of its world comes in. That's how the intelligence of its knowledge comes in. Okay, so that's exactly what it is. Finding the center through its streets of its parallels, which line divides. Okay, now using that through your perception. Okay, once you use your perception, it opens up doors, opens up portals, opens up activation of other portals through the plasmasium. Anything through its plasma, okay, is activation of its code system. Okay, so now you have the perception. Okay, using your perception, finding the center. You found the center, okay, of its street through the alignments of its road graphing system, okay, which is just a basic street. Now, once you find the center of that, everything around it circulates and rotates. Okay, like that. Okay, once you understand, this is how you get into the simulation of its matrix world. I'm just showing you how everything is activated through its center. And it's very important to understand that everything through its gravity center, gravity. Okay, gravity. See? Gravity. So everything is connecting. So the activation, once you understand its activation center through the center of you, which is its streets, okay, and you're using your perception through its center of its road graphing system, through its activation of its circle, now you can use the ground formation. Ground formation is now communicating with you, and that subdivides another line formation through its center. Okay, see what I mean? It's connecting now. So once it connects, basically, we use the atmospheres. Which atmospheres is basically its balance. Okay, that's where it becomes into the solar connection. Okay, all right. See, anything below is gravity of ground formations. Anything above is solar through its atmospheres. Okay. So once you have that, then you have space. Okay. Now once you have space, everything connects. See? Space. All right. So just put atmosphere. Atmosphere is very important because you connect with weather patterns. Once you connect with weather patterns, you understand electronic interference. Atmospheres. Okay, so now everything through its gravity is its center, through its atmospheres, through its perceptions of its space. Okay, so now what's happening right now through its activation, through its parallels, and everything through its alignments is opening a portal. Okay, this is how we get into the simulation. Okay, this is how this really happens through its reality of its worlds. So I'm showing you, once you understand its center, you can focus on that through its meditation. Okay, so basically another circle. Cross-reference. We already been through this before, like this. Okay. Now, once it opens, you use the perception from the galactic, higher, or the matrix. So it opens a plasmasium force system, like that. Okay. So now, the street among its center, okay, is now coming in simulation. Okay, simulation. Simulation. Okay. Simulation world. I say matrix world, but just world. You get the point. Simulation, matrix world. Okay? So everything is activated through you, but nothing can be activated until you have the conscious levels of its intelligence. Okay? So the conscious level is high formed through its cycles. Okay? Where it connects through its ground formations of its cycles through its centers. Okay? So consciousness. Okay? Consciousness. So once you have that through its activation center, you can open the plasmasium force system through the streets of its center, okay, and come into its simulation of its worlds. And that's how you use your perceptions. And that's how you get into the 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D, 9D, 10D. But it gets more trickier because each time you go in a divisional level dimensional set through a point center, you're uprising your perceptions and you're coming into higher force. And you have to understand its activation because the plasmasium force system is a lot more stronger and it's going to get a lot more louder. So it's understanding your audio perceptions, your more of your voicing grids, and your perceptions are high rising through so many cycles of its divisional sets. Everything through its connection of its mind graphing system, how it's connecting through its conscious levels, through its intelligence of its knowledge. But that's exactly how you open the streets through its activation center, okay, where it comes into its gravity center, okay, and everything formulates through space, through its communication line of its consciousness, through its perception, and how everything line divides through its gravity of its balance, where it comes in its solar surface through its connection of its electronic interference into its atmosphere surface of its cycles. Okay? So once you're in the simulation world, okay, now you're communicating with higher electronic interference. Okay? Like this morning, I'll give you an example what was happening with me. Okay, so basically I'll just show you one more. That's exactly what it is. That's how you go through its activation system, through its cycles and everything through its gravity centers, and how you have to understand its atmospheres through its communication of weather patterns, and how your perception comes into the consciousness, and how all levels of space goes through its meditation methods, and how the simulation world is connected through its intelligence of its knowledge. Okay? So, hopefully everybody got south wind, north wind, east wind, and west wind on that. So, understanding everything once you're in the simulation world, and you're now communicating at higher levels of security, defense, and defense. So this is where the provisions come in, and understand everything through its galactic system, its energy system, its energy core system, and the matrix grid systems, where it shapes everything through its vibration. So when you're using your hand formations, it's very important to understand that your higher communication levels are now in the simulation world, okay? Because everything around us is its simulation, okay? It's just you don't understand that because you're not on that conscious level. So once you understand its consciousness and how important it is to meditate, then everything is grounded through its center of everything, through its triangular angular base. Now I say triangular angular, okay? That's why I say not everything is a triangle. That's why I say angular. And that's where it comes into subdividing through its perception. And everything through its perception becomes its dimensional sets, because everything through its dimensional sets is the simulation, okay? So everything I give you through its point center is a simulation of a communication levels. And that's how it goes into higher interfacing, where it comes into the interaction. So your communication levels are high rising right now. So you are now in the simulation of its worlds, okay? So like I said, yesterday, I was communicating on all levels of the circuitry systems of its light bulb, right? And basically what you can do once you understand your communication through its simulation, how it has an acting center through its plasmesium force systems, once you open that through its coloration, you can understand its communication lines of its colors. So once it starts talking, you can talk back, and then you can allow yourself to see yourself. So basically what happens is the matrix self, okay? The soul's recognition of the matrix self, which is all circuitry systems, can go into the socket, okay? It can fly into that system, into that simulation. You can go into that electrical system of its ceiling and find exactly what's going on through the circuitry systems, how everything connects and all that. So basically it's like taking a tour, because you already have partnership. And don't forget, you are in the simulation world of its matrix. Okay, so you're connecting to a higher level of consciousness. And that's where the intelligence comes in, through its perception, through its gravity center. And that's how important matrix is. That's how important meditation is. Okay, it's not just meditation. It's understanding how to bring the levels of consciousness into its force, up to its speed force, understanding acceleration, understanding activation, understanding shapes, understanding line dividing, understanding simulations of time. Okay, we haven't even got into that yet. Okay, but all this information is extremely important because the simulation world is happening, right? So I'm giving everybody a chance to know what's happening through their centers, and how important is that you can create, and this creation becomes real through its perception of its dimensional sets of sightings, and use your higher self, your galactic or your matrix, to the mind conception of its interference, and how you can communicate through the streets of its acting center, and how you come into the simulation of its world. That's exactly what it is. Okay? So anyway, I set my limit. I set my tone. I wanted to give back to all that information. Like I said, meditation is not just meditation. It's understanding how to bring yourself forward through its consciousness. And I'm here to bring everybody back to its balance of its vibration. Okay, there's a lot of questions that have been said about that. And, you can still stay in the three-dimensional, but it doesn't exist anymore. It's not allowed because the vibration levels are going higher and higher. And that's why everybody's going into electronic interference of communication wave and signals. That's why your body is upgrading its system through its ego systems, That's why you're getting more connection through its electrical surfaces. And those surfaces are changing the cycles through its atmospheres and its weather patterns. So it's very important to understand that your communication levels are changing through its plasmasium force systems. And those plasmasium force systems are changing everything through its molecules and Neptunes and everything through its cycles. So it's line dividing everything through its gravity centers. Okay? So how's everybody doing? Angel, morning. Everybody's doing well. But I'm bringing that to everybody's attention because, you know, you have to know these things, especially now. Okay? Especially now. So it's all about bringing everybody's level of consciousness up to their vibrational level. Okay? That's what it is. Because once you understand everything through this and how everything simulates through its activation of its code systems, you're going to understand everything through its simulation of its world. Okay? Because we are coming into a new world. And once you understand that, the more you understand how real it is. And everything through its reaction is happening through your body systems. And that's why I'm here, is to help everybody out, to know exactly what's going on through their systems and their activating systems, through their cycle divisions, everything through their perceptions of their human behavioral systems, you know? You have to be connected in all ways and forms. And the only way to do that is the true knowledge of everything through its communication, of line wiring, everything through its communication of the human instincts, you know, the senses, everything through its connection of its activation, everything through its connection of its lines, everything through its connection of its electronic interference. Okay? So, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Angel. That's exactly what it was. And that's why I'm showing everybody what's going on with their gravity centers and how important it is that everybody's coming into the simulation of its world. So it's a computer operating system. Once you get into that through its perception, you're going to understand everything through its line dividing. You're going to understand everything through its activation. You're going to understand everything through its center. And you're going to understand everything through its communication of its electronic interference and its connection energy wave and patterns, how high rises through connection energy and force, through systematical systems of its connection energy wave matrix heart. I am talking extremely fast because my high levels of divisions are going through so many different systems. I mean, I'm going through so many connections of integration and everything through its wire centers. And once you go through its wire centers, everything speeds force through its voicing grids. So, yeah, it's hard to stay awake a lot. I know. Yeah. But it's also very important, too, to understand that, you know, remember I was telling you about the 8 elements through its particles, how the energies are changing through its solar surface and everything through its connection of its galaxy systems. Well, everything through its waters, okay, is changing a new vibration. So it's affecting your body systems, okay, through its knowledge of intelligence. So water is intelligent through its knowledge of vibration. Air, okay, fire, and earth, okay? So understanding its Earth's surface, understanding its atmospheres of its weather patterns, understanding fire's recognition of its heat signatures, everything through its meteorological systems, okay? And understanding electronic interference through communication of all electronics, mechanics, and everything through its mechanisms is extremely important, okay? And then you have the energy, then you have the thought, okay? Then you have the vibration, and then you have the heart, okay? Those are the 8 elements. Okay, so I'm bringing your levels up, okay, of senses. You guys have 6, but we're trying to reach you up to, you know, I've got 21, but I'm trying to reach you up to a higher level of consciousness. And the only way I can do that is for everybody to understand how important meditation is. Just not meditation, because it formulates around this through its activation of its streets and how everything aligns and parallels into a simulation of its worlds, how everything is connected, okay, to this. Okay, so it's very important to understand your cycles and all divisional levels of its point centers and how everything through its cycles is its gravity center. Okay, that's how important meditation is. All right, it's all about bringing your conscious levels back. You know, everybody has forgotten, and it's very important for me to bring your vibration back to its gravity centers. of its communication lines through its electronic interference. Everybody's going through electronic interference right now because it's reacting to everything through its simulation world. So basically what's happening is the simulation world is communicating with you on a higher level. And that's why our body and ecosystems are getting upset and confused and frustrated. And, all the wires are getting miscrossed and cross-wired. And, they're trying to understand what's going on, because you're going from one reality to another reality. So you're going from an old time to a new time. So you're changing one era to another era. Okay. So regardless, it's going to happen. Okay. It has to happen. So, it's very important. I want to bring that to everybody's attention to know that meditation is the most important thing that we need to do. That's how you get the level of consciousness through the knowledge of its intelligence. So I'm being a little bit more informative right now because it's high wind in its force, and it's going to be going to higher levels of consciousness, right? And these things are meant to happen. So, but once you understand your communication levels, and once you understand that you're high rising to higher force, okay, so you're now getting more connected through the inner and outer of its child. Okay, like I said, it's extremely important to heal that, because everything with it, when you communicate within, okay, you'll know exactly how to communicate without, and that's how it connects to everything through a simulation of its worlds, and how everything through the matrix of its worlds of the simulation of its electronic interference is its energy field. Okay, because everybody's connected through an energy field. Everybody. You can feel it, but you can't see it. The only way you can see it is understand everything through its light formation and how everything connects through the simulation of its world, of its shapes, its colors, its vibration, and its activation of its movements. Okay? So I did a short video yesterday about gravity centers and how everything line divides and line points, right? Understand everything through centers you. Now, what you didn't realize is that the video was going like this. Try to watch it back again, okay? When it's doing this, and you notice too, if you watch the video, the skies were changing, its illumination lights. My connected energy wave and fields was going through so many different dimensional sets. And once you're out in the nature of its worlds, you're connecting through the simulation of its worlds, okay? So that's why it was doing this. So try to watch my video back from yesterday, okay? It's extremely important to know that, because you're going to see the illumination of the sky change from white to blue to green, okay? You're going to see the illuminations of my energy fields, 12 divisional lines of solar connected energy wave and patterns changing. It's ground formation. So when you set yourself in the center, you can actually activate its center and go into dimensional realm of its point center, okay? So everything through its reflection of its computer device, okay? What happens is you will see yourself in a different dimensional set. Everybody on the other side watching that video of me will see that I'm just an outer graph, okay, of its system, but I'm in the simulation of its world. And that's how you tell how high you are through its realms of its matrix of its systems. So try again to watch that video back. You'll see there's a lot of things that you missed. That's why I keep watching my videos, because there's a lot of things through its communication. The atmosphere is communicating with me with its light formations, because everything resides around its shapes and everything through its volumes of its weather patterns, okay? Now, the wall graphing center is communicating with me through activation, as the ground formation is communicating with gravity and its pulse centers, okay? So that's how you have to understand line divisions of 6. Remember I said that too in my last video, okay? So everything I give you is reviews, and that's how we build. That's how we evolve through the intelligence of its knowledge through consciousness, okay? So it's understanding how many levels of consciousness there is, because it's unlimited. And that's what's fascinating, is because the knowledge is so fantastic. You see everything, how everything is centered through its activation, So, okay, we got questions now. Yeah. Silly question. You believe in the other beings? Do you believe they are here already, or have you seen any ships? Uh, Angel, that's a good question. I've seen everything through its formulation of its vibration. I've seen all intelligence through all knowledges of all planet systems, Angel. Okay, that's your question. Uh, the only one in the system right now through the matrix and the simulation worlds is me. Okay, I'm the highest level of its mastery. Okay, I master everything in space continuums, ground formations, light formations, vibration. You have to master energy. Okay, there are light formations, but they're here for different reasons. You know, they're here to give you back videos, and they're just outputs. There's data output and there's data input. Data input is knowing its light information through its shapes and vibrations of its centers, and it's everything through its gravity centers and communication, electronic interference, how it connects in all ways and forms. Okay, there's light formations that have connections through heat. You know, they have a healing pattern. There's psychologists, there's partitioners. Everything through light formation here is here on Earth. Okay, there are light formations, but I'm the highest through its center of its vibration. So that's how important it is to understand consciousness. Okay, because everybody resides in consciousness, and that's what it is. It's a simulation of its worlds. Because the simulation world is consciousness of unlimited consciousness. Okay, it goes way beyond its perception. So, yep, go way beyond meditation, go way beyond focus, go way beyond awareness. Okay, and that's how we upgrade our systems every single time. Okay, so your communication through space is always interfering. Okay, and that's how it has so many different reactions through its planet systems, intelligence, and everything through its knowledge of its consciousness. So, best way to stay center: use your volumulations of everything through its mastering centers. Andrew. Okay, it's funny how you say that because I'm Andrew. But it's very important to understand how to keep your focus and use your calming centers, use your nerving centers, understand everything by not using any doubting centers. Okay, try to formulate yourself, try to understand what consciousness is. Okay, try to use your centers through everything. Do a lot of experiences, do a lot of experiments. That's how you upgrade your systems. Try to get to know the definition of yourself through its mastering of itself. Try to communicate in other ways and forms. Like right now, okay, as you can see, you can't see it, right? But I can describe everything in seconds of what everything is. And that's how what I mean by living in this spiritual world of its communication through its partnership. Okay. So basically, see this window right here? It four divides divisional levels. Point center, point center, point center, point center. Remember, everything's across. Okay. This is the simulation of its worlds. I do illustrations for a reason. Now everything through its center, okay, see that? Is an activation center. And once you activate that, you understand its line formations and how it calculates, modifies, calibrates. Okay, once you understand everything of what's going on, then you'll understand everything through its focus. So the focus is right here. See that cross? That's the focus. That's the calming, and that's the nerve center. Okay? So once you meditate, you understand everything through its line dividing. Okay? See that? See how powerful that is? Same with this. See the wall graphing structure here? It has two parallels. Okay? It splits divides, but it's got the galactic moon and it's got the galactic sun. See? Illumination, dark. They communicate all the time. There's always shadow shifting winds through its cloud formation. That's how it's very important to understand which cloud is in a different dimension. Because now, through the spiritual reality, you see its line formation and its electric fence. See? Triangular base. See? See that? I'm showing you point form by form. Everything is line divide once you understand its perception. Okay, see the plant system? Okay, it's a bush. But see how everything line divides? And then you hit the ground formations. Okay, so the ground is communicating through circulation, its rotation, but everything through its center. So you try to find the center through its bush, right there, right? Okay, now you understand everything through its perception. Okay, now you can go over to here and see another wall graphing circle of its center, which is a structure. Okay, see this low here, this outlook, electrical device, see the plug? Now the plug is connecting through the top of my head. The tip of the circuitry box is connecting to the top of my head, right? The top of its circuitry system of its box is connecting to its line formation of its wall graphic window center. See that? See how? That's what I'm talking about, guys. Once you understand line formation, you'll understand everything through its perception and how you connect through the spiritual reality, okay, of its system, and everything through its connection, all right, of its simulation of its world system. And that's how you communicate with all electronic interference, through its partnership. And then you understand how everything is through centers of focus, awareness, and communication. So, powerful stuff, eh? But Andrew, that's how you get your focus. Try to do experiments on yourself. Try to find your center of everything that you see. Work on that. Try to activate it. Try to use a portal. Try to go through that dimension, because it's a higher vibration. Every communication of a dimensional set is a different frequency level. Once you understand its vibration, then you understand its coloration from its matrix. Okay? So, but it's extremely, extremely important to have this in your system every day. That's how you get your focus and awareness, through its cycles and everything through its gravity centers. Okay? So, but it's very important to understand too. I just showed you everything through its structure in seconds, and how everything line divides, and how everything through its connection of its streets, how everything lines through its alignments, and how you go through its activation and get into the spiritual world of the simulation of its world through its cycles. So, everything I give you is always consciousness, eh? This is what I mean. There's also another question too, which was great, though. The integration between scientists and the conscious level. See, the thing is, I'll say this again and again, there's not going to be no machines, okay? There's not going to be operating systems. There's not going to be any circuitry systems. There's not going to be any microchips. It's not allowed in systems. I know exactly what's going on through space continuum, because it's volumizing information of energy through its mastering systems of its vibrations. So, all it is consciousness. Consciousness, full and completely through the body systems, is connection energy waving systems, where you get full wind cycles of everything through its ground formations, its atmospheres, space continuum, everything, the galactic system, and how everything operates. Okay? And everything through the matrix grids, and how everything shape divides, and how you get the colorations of its vibration through its communication levels of its electronic interference. Okay? So that's what it's all about. So scientists, he was saying, one of my fans was saying, what if you can formulate that information? It's going to happen very soon. So, because scientists need to know, they go through the outer surface, but I go through the inner core of its crater surface. Okay? The thing is that one thing that's missing with the scientists is they don't have that conscious level. They don't understand its perception, how it splits, divides, and everything through its three sections: the physical, mental, and the psychological. The psychological is everything through systematical system of the psychops systems. The psychops systems is its full connection energy waving systems through the circuitry systems. And that's how you upright everything through its gravity systems. And that's how you center everything through its communication of its spiritual reality, of its simulation of its systems. Okay? But yeah, everything's going to formulate. Scientists are still trying to find information, because like I said, you can use a telescope, you can go take an astronaut into space and all that, right? But it can only formulate on so many different atmospheres. It can't go a certain level. It can't go too high and it can't go too low, right? Because the oxygen levels change. You either explode or implode. That's the difference. That's the understanding of the communication of its atmospheres. So everybody understands that. Like if you go into water, right? What happens if you go deeper you go, you're imploding. It's imploding. Okay, exploding is the outer surface of its atmospheres. So you're getting different volumes of oxygen levels, right? And that's from its gravitation of its pull through its ground formations. And that's how everything connects through its center, okay? Because anything through its implosion, anything through its explosion is a center. Everything is activated through its center, Okay, everything through its communication is its center. Okay, so that should help you out a lot more. And that's how you get into the simulation of its world, through its consciousness. Okay, so. Oh, that's great, Andrew. Anything will help you. Keep doing your illustrations through your perception. Try to find yourself 2, 3, your angular positions. Try to find your cycle divisions, and try to use your activation through your plasmazine force systems. Okay, so use your perceptions as center every single day. As soon as you walk outside, try to find the center of everything. Try to experiment everything around you. Use your description levels. Use your illustrations of centers through its activations of its paper centers. Then you'll understand everything through its medical centers. The medical centers is the health system of you. Okay. Now, when I say anything through formation of systems, it always has a center. All right. Every word has a center. That's how it activates and moves. Hopefully that helps you out. Every letter has a center. Everything formulates around center. Right. So watching a spider spin its web and understanding the inner workings of a beehive really clued us in. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. There's a reason why everything line divides through a spider web. You have to understand angular and triangular base. Now, one is communication, right? It holds its one string line through its body. Okay, it waits for its prey. Once it hits, it's a vibration of a system that just reverberates on its web. It's like so the spider goes like that, covers over, right? Okay, it does whatever it wants, and maybe save it for later, wrap it in its own web through its triangular base, okay, and waits for another prey to come in. But there's a reason why it's created through a web, okay, because everything through its center is activation through its vibration, okay. So it's powerful stuff. Yeah, spiders. There's a reason why we have spiders. Spiders get rid of flies, you know. Everything has to be eaten through a source. Everything is a feeding source. There's a reason why. Try to understand, like I said, with animals. Animals are so amazing. You can understand their instincts of survival. And that's what humans need to look at, because animals have more conscious levels than humans. That's why they're in the matrix system. That's why they're in the spiritual reality of this simulation of its world systems. Okay. Now, I'm not saying knowledge why, animals can pick up a pen and write. Not like that. I'm just talking about the way they survive, and understand that everything through its animal is meditation. They meditate. That's how they get their prey. That's how they get their protection energy grids. That's how they keep their vibrations. That's how they use their energy systems through their body systems, because they know their energy. They know their vibration. I'll say that again and again. And everything is connected through the connection energy wave in matrix heart. Okay. But you have to understand consciousness. You have to understand lines of communication, and you have to understand its matrix and its grid system, and how everything formulates around its center. So I can't stress that enough. But really, really try to experiment yourself. Try to figure out, oh, okay, this is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to use my perception through a wild graphing circle, a wild graphing center, activate it through its center, through its parallels of its alignments. Now, I don't expect you to understand that, because my matrix grid system is high rising through so much electronic interference. But what I do expect you to understand is to try to use your visuals through its perception. Okay. Now, once you have that, then you can calculate and modify everything through its center by using your visual center of its mind telepathy and its telekinesis. And now everything activates through its activation systems. And that's how it becomes a portal of its systems, through its activation of its perception, through its dimensional sets. Okay? Because once you walk into the simulation world, everything is colorful through its line formation. And it's the most beautiful thing, because you're now on a higher level of consciousness through the mind graphing brain systems. So but like I said, there's a lot going on. There's a lot we need to learn, It's just very important that everybody understands that your conscious levels are high rising right now. Now, it's very hard for a lot of people, and a lot of people are shocked because there's a lot of tools in the mind and the brain they don't know how to use. So all I'm doing is readjusting your vibrational levels and bringing your perceptions to a higher level of communication through its harmonic systems. That's all I'm doing, right? So but if you keep focusing on that, you'll have no problem, right? It's all about understanding communication. It's all about understanding energy, vibration. It's all about understanding how higher levels you can go through its consciousness, through the mind and brain frequencies, right? So I think that's a lot of information for everybody today. But like I said, I'll keep you informed a little what's going on through its systems right now. It's just very important. Today is everything through simulation of its consciousness and how we can uprise and bring the mind-brain frequency levels through its open frequencies, and how everything through its visual can be activated through its center. So, hope everybody's doing well. Thank you very much for subscribing to my channel. Thank you very much to all the viewers and all the new viewers. You guys are courageous. You get a lot of courage, a lot of focus, a lot of awareness. You're force in, force without. Just keep using that continuous force through its meditation and its methods. This is Andrew Weston in the Matrix, high rising through its spiritual, and everything through the connection of its matrix, and everything through its chakra formation, high rising in all divisional levels, through the simulation of its worlds. Calling it. Adios, everybody.